Facebook, and Zoom are speaking. Ta-da! I love these opportunities when you push buttons and it actually works. So welcome everyone to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. We are thrilled that you're here today. I have so much that I want to go over with you. I've actually created lists because I'm a list girl. I'm a Monday girl, and I just wanted to share these things with you. So first of all, let's do a roll call and a check. How is everybody? Are you freaked out for this week? Are you excited for this week? What does that look like? And we are thrilled that you're with us today. So please, those are some of the questions that I actually wanted to chat with you about. Also, please remember, just as an FYI, our Bible trivia this week falls on Thanksgiving. And since a lot of our faithful friends on purpose will be traveling back and forth to wherever or recovering from a lot of cooking that some of you do, then we will not be having Bible trivia this week. So please visit my YouTube channel, Kathy Weaver KC, and go to the playlist section. And right there is Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia. And if you just need some food for thought, pardon the double entendre, but a little bit of nourishment emotionally, physically, spiritually, then maybe the Bible Trivia will be just what you need, and it's recorded. So I was in one of my coaching classes last week, and the coach that was speaking suggested a board of directors for your company. Wow, a board of directors for your company. What does that sound like to you? I did write a list of what it's not. It's not a mastermind. It's not a team. It's not coaching. It's not training. It's more like brainstorming, sure. And it's more like who's on the bus with you? Traveling to where? What is your goal? People talk about goals and words for the year. Wow. Think about that. What was your word for the year in 2020? Boom. What was your word for the year in 2021? Double boom. And so what will the word be for 2022? I don't know. So people talk about goals and what does this look like for you and things like that. This is different. As soon as Missy is the coach in the class I was in, as soon as Missy said, do you have, need, want a board of directors for your company? That was a magnificent way to look at it for me. And since then, I have tweaked it because some of the ladies I have spoken with, board of directors is a little too formal. So we've changed that for some of these other groups I've been working with already to advisory board. Advisory board. Now, again, are you where you wanted to be in January of this year when you thought about where you'd be in November? Because hello, December's next week. Are you where you wanted to be? Would a board of directors or an advisory board have been a little closer strategy to have gotten you where you want it to be right now? What is different? What could have been different? And what will be different for 2022? Some people have flourished during the pandemic. I am grateful each and every day for the new clients that have found me actually on the internet because of my Kangen water technology. That has been a surprise and a blessing times a million. December is traditionally our busiest month for Kangen water because everybody wants a tax deduction or a present under the tree that's not going to end up in the trash or the Goodwill pile for next year. They want a permanent, lasting gift for someone rather than whatever else they would just pick to have stuff to open. So traditionally, December is our biggest month. What would that have looked like without the pandemic? Some people have flourished. Some people have struggled. Some people have found different challenges. What would have happened if you had created an advisory board or a board of directors for your business? How would that have changed things, enhanced things, rolled things along. So please consider that, because again, in December, everybody goes, are you where you wanted to be? What's your goal? What's your goal for next year? Finish strong, that whole drill. I get that. But when Missy challenged us to actually have a board of directors, that really resonated with me. So I'd like to throw it out there, see what you think, and definitely in the comment section here on Doc and Queenie group page, be sure and comment. Who would you like to have on your board, whether it's an advisory board or a board of directors, however that works for you? How often will you meet? Quite frankly, in this age of Zoom, I would think once a week or at least bi-monthly would be terrific. How will the structure of the meeting go? And again, just Google it or YouTube it, whatever works for you, because there are ways to do a board of directors. There are ways to do an advisory board. There are ways to do meetings. Some people have very strict agendas. Some people wing it. The bottom line is getting people together and definitely focus on the same page. What is the page? What is the goal? If you have a health and wellness company, then obviously strategically you want more and more people on your products. If you have a technology company, strategically you want more and more people to participate in that technology. Whatever your business looks like, if it's a service industry, think about that. If you have a service industry and you provide a service that everybody needs, why isn't everybody on board with you? Do you have a board of directors? Do you have an advisory board? Now, let's think about this for a second from a standpoint of, have you served on a board before? Have you served on an advisory board? Have you served on an advisory council? Check those out. They all have a little bit different parameter. Think about where this can go for you. What would it sound like if you're in a meeting with your networking or wherever you go for meetings, and all of a sudden you said, oh, got to go. I've got a board of directors meeting. You've got a what? You see the difference in the posturing by just saying, I'm meeting with my board of directors this afternoon. I've got to go. The posture piece of our businesses is so important. For several of you who have been faithful friends on purpose, even before we started Doc and Queenie, I used to have a group called Leaders Only Please. I absolutely loved Leaders Only Please because people who attended, yes, they were invited, but many times I would also say, bring a friend, either in your company or not in your company, that is a leader. A couple times in the room, we would have empty chairs. And somebody would say things like, who's missing? Or too bad somebody missed this training today, or whatever that looked like. And so I would call a few people who had strategically not come because, why weren't you here today? Are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm okay. I just don't feel like I'm a leader. Wow. Now, this takes me always circle back to our networking posture and our profiles on different platforms. People can see, see confidence, leadership, excitement, whatever that looks like on your profile. They can see if you're excited about your company, if it's got a little bit of pizzazz to it. They can see if you actually like being a part of your company. And they can also see if you don't. If you're just doing an entrepreneurial business because everybody's doing it, that's probably not been a good fit for you lucrativity wise. But what does it look like if you're actually part of a dynamic company? And within that company, you have a board of directors who is not related to the company. This is not about building teams and have your upline and downline and all those different MLM kind of words. This is not about that. This is about strategically placing amazing people in your world that you can glean from. One of the questions I think we've asked before, even on Doc and Queenie here, is what are you great at? What are you great at? Not good. We can all be good at stuff. but what are you great at? What is one of your big skills? If it's organization, if it's management, if it's leadership, if it's training, if it's selling, what are you great at? Would you be great on a board? Would you be great choosing a board? I just wanted to throw this out because I feel when we chat with a lot of our faithful friends on purpose, one-on-one meetings, things like that, most of the comments are, yeah, I've got all the time in the world. What day? You pick one. When we're setting up a one-on-one appointment. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I look at my calendar and I'm like, well, I can plug you in right here. Will that work? Sure, I'll take it. Yeah, it works for me. And their schedules are not, okay, let's say booked, let's say full, whatever that looks like. I do feel that you can make time for things that you want to do. By the same token, for me, making sure that I have several appointments a week and several networking events a week is very important to the future of my company. So I make sure that I have new people coming in my pipeline all the time, so to speak. So please think about that for you. What does a board of directors look like? What does an advisory board look like? And again, Google this. This is not rocket science. There are a million different strategies for this. I want the people in our Doc and Queenie family to be successful. And we've talked about this a little bit too. What does successful look like? Some people measure everything monetarily. That's just their DNA. Their brain is numbers. They have to be successful monetarily. What does that look like? And P.S., 80%, and I think that number is still very close because this was an old meme, if you will. 80% of females who make six figures or higher are in a direct sales company. Maybe not their only company. They might have two streams of income, but the six-figure income earner, female, usually has accomplished that because of direct sales. So if you're not in a direct sales industry yet, even as a second stream of income, please consider connecting with some of our rock star ladies in Doc and Queenie family. So think about that, okay? Are you successful? Are you a success? Those are two different topics to me. Are you successful? I'm a successful this, I'm a successful that, I'm a successful something. Then, are you a success? Well, and please consider this even when you're watching this video on the replay or live, and thank you for joining us today if you're live with us. Now that Facebook and Zoom are talking, it's back to that same drill, posture. And even when we talk about that, for me, posture has nothing to do with your shoulders. Sit up straight, look at the camera, that whole thing, sure. But posture has nothing to do with your shoulders. Are you in business for play or are you in business for real? Which is it? Is this just extra little money that you get to spend on whatever you spend it on? Or is this your business? You're taking seriously business entrepreneurial lifestyle? These are just some of the things that came to me today after that call last week with Missy and all of our ladies in the coaching group. It's just incredible to me that posture is so important when it comes to a board of directors and an advisory board. Are you on one or do you have one or both? When we learn things from other people and then we share what we have learned with other people, isn't that the coolest thing in the whole world? Just like we've talked about LinkedIn on Doc and Queenie, and certainly with Delinda Lane. Delinda has hosted several posting parties now. And it's back to that same thing. I go check people out on LinkedIn first, usually. First of all, they're easier to find for me. Second of all, when I check them out on Facebook, I kind of get a feel for the seriousness of their engagement in their entrepreneurial lifestyle. It's a little hobby, it's a little something, it's a little business page, it's a cutesy little picture, or bam, she's in business for real. And I check people out that way. So please take a look at the structure of your business and the structure of your board and see if that will change if you actually come up with an advisory board, a monthly, every other month. I would think that would be actually too far away, but monthly, twice a month, try that. Maybe twice a month until you got started. Keep them short, keep them rigid from a standpoint of structured time. If you're good at an hour, that's great. If you're good at 40 minutes, that's great. Whatever that time frame looks like for you and your board, keep it consistent. But let's just think about forming a board of directors and forming an advisory board, whichever of those resonates best with you. Okay, I wanted to go over some of those because plan is one of the words I wrote down, and executive leadership. Again, it's a posture thing. What are you great at? Are you successful? Are you a success? And the people who are most likely have a support team around them. Brainstorming team, even people call it mastermind, whatever that looks like. But look at the difference between a mastermind group, an accountability partner, all those things that people send out to the airwaves these days. But board of director, advisory board, boom. See how that changes your posture and see how that changes your structure. Because maybe next year in November, you're not going to be lamenting that you didn't get what you had hoped, planned, dreamed, wished for that particular year. If you're where you want to be and then some right now in November, then it sounds like you have a lovely support team and you are very structured. That would be another thing to share here in the community in the comment section. So please do that. Okay, one of the other things I want to talk about today, I was on a call last week and one of the people on the call said, "How did you spend your weekend?" And I said, "I have been putting up Christmas decorations." And she said, "Oh, no. We don't do that till the day after Thanksgiving." I appreciate that. My house is kind of like a production, so it's not just a one and done, everything goes up today and down tomorrow. No, every section and everything is strategically placed, as you might imagine, go figure, right? But seriously, I have started for several weeks because my schedule for my company is filled. So extra things that come in like Christmas decorating has to be kind of squished in to make that happen. But this lady was very, she was very, let's say, adamant that Christmas decorating does not start until the day after Thanksgiving. Well, for me, even back in the olden days, I would have my family, in-laws, different people from other places come to Kansas City for Thanksgiving at my house. Don't laugh, I didn't cook at all. They would come to my house, and that might be the only time they would have gotten to see my Christmas stuff, because for Christmas, they would be traveling other directions. So even back in the olden days, I had Christmas stuff ready at the Thanksgiving meal because that's the only time some of these folks came here. And it's less boring, number one. But two, sometimes it just kind of gets people in the spirit. And I have found that when you have Christmas as the theme in a family gathering, sometimes it's a little easier conversation-wise. So anyway, I thought that was interesting that this lady was so adamant about when decorations go up and when they don't. So in the comment section of Doc and Queenie, please put when you decorate. Okay. Then let's go with, when do you start Christmas shopping? Some people start in July, Christmas in July, hello. Some people don't start till the day before, or the week before, or the day after Thanksgiving. What does that look like? When do you start Christmas shopping? How large is the list that you buy for? Okay. And please, maybe even your favorite place to shop. We have a dynamic community here in Doc and Queenie, And if we're able to bounce things off of each other, as far as, hey, this worked for me, hey, this might work for you, guess what I found the other day then wouldn't it be cool if we were able to share advice, tips, even recipes? Doc has a lot of recipes now on her website. And please go to kitchengardenexpert.com to find some of those. And certainly on Doc's YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet to her newsletter, definitely do that, because the recipes that have come through, even my level, she's very kind to make it work for me too. But even the recipes that are on there, what would happen if you tried something new this year? Traditions are lovely, I get that. What would happen if you incorporated something new into that tradition, so that could be a new tradition, I know, oxymoron, to try, so that the rest of the family likes it, jumps on it, and it changes things just a little bit, but it's something that you're going to stick to. Think about that. So speaking of recipes, let's try this. Turkey, ham, chicken, duck, what? What is the main course on your holiday table? What do the side dishes look like? Is everything organic? Is everything from scratch? Is everything what? What does it look like? We seriously would love to know. And of course, you know, in the Doc and Queenie family, you always get bonus points for pictures or videos. So think about that. But when do you shop for Christmas? Okay, all year long, you pick up gifts and then forget where you put them. Right. What is the main course for Thanksgiving? And seriously, what does that look like? Some people have a specific menu every single year. Some people start a new tradition, a new recipe. In fact, I actually have one, don't faint, but I really do. And if it turns out I'm actually going to take a picture, so it won't be probably for a week or two when I go to the first Christmas party, but I'm anxious to see if it turns out, even with me doing it. So think about what you can change or what you love about your traditions, and please consider that. Okay, so let's go this direction. I also am blown away because sometimes as icebreaker questions in some of the groups I attend, eggnog or not, eggnog or not, pumpkin pie, pecan, cherry, apple, whatever. So sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes. Look at all the choices. Cranberry sauce out of a can, Doc would faint, right? Or homemade. Fresh cranberries, what? Then I have actually known people who string cranberries for decorations on their Christmas tree. Do you do that? Have you done it before? What about stringing popcorn on a tree? Have you done that before? There's so many different things that have passed through the generations and stayed as traditions. And something pops in, that didn't work, not doing it next year. When do you take everything down? Okay. If you are already decorated for Christmas, does it come down the day after Christmas? January what? Epiphany? Some people have those traditions as well. New Year's Day, everything comes down. All of the different traditions that people have, isn't it amazing? Even within our dynamic Doc and Queenie community, faithful friends on purpose, all the different nuances within just our little family here, our community. So I just wanted to know, Doc and I are actually very curious about this topic. Plus, we learn from each other, so please consider that. What works for you, what doesn't? Shopping early or shopping now, crunch time almost, because Christmas is 4 weeks away. Don't panic, but it really is. And what do your traditions look like? I would never, oh my gosh, drink eggnog. Other people love it. I would never, oh my gosh, eat cranberries. Other people love it. I would never, whatever your I would never is, other people love it. Some people do sushi for Thanksgiving, my friends. What does that look like? And I really love to know the, when I see the interaction on the Doc and Queenie group pages after one of these videos, it's so awesome to see the interaction within the community. So please consider that as well. We're all in this together. We absolutely love the fact that you're part of this amazing, amazing community. Faithful Friends on Purpose, Girl Chat with a Faith Twist, Bible Trivia. We've done bingo parties before just to get people connected. And we've been able to connect people from all over the country, which is incredibly super cool. So please consider what you could share in this chat, in the actual comment section of this video, so that we can actually learn from each other. Okay. What does your table look like? Is it appetizer first, then the big course, then dessert later with coffee? Is everything at 1 o'clock and then leftovers at 7? What is your tradition? What is your tradition? One person I was with on a Saturday call this past weekend, I get to go to my daughter's house for Thanksgiving. And she was super excited about that because she didn't have to cook. While the rest of us were talking about our traditions and what we're going to do for this year, all of a sudden she went, wait a minute. If I don't do any cooking, that means I don't have any leftovers. And that's one of my favorite parts of Thanksgiving. So I think she's rethinking the part about she doesn't have to cook because now there are no leftovers. Are your groups smaller this year because of the pandemic? Fewer people in a household, fewer households merging as we've done in the past? What does that part look like? So please consider, okay, please consider different habits, traditions that could start to change, okay, change, it's a rough word for me, and how you could enhance them. It does happen. Like I say, a new recipe, a new gift idea, a new something. So if you have gift ideas, that would be lovely. Okay, think about that too. Put it in there as a little PS. And we won't broadcast it publicly. It does show up, I think, because we are a public group. But if you have private gifts that you have best idea ever for then please post that or put it in Messenger. Put it in Messenger. Doc and I won't say anything about who shared it with us. Some of it's still a surprise. Christmas isn't for another month. Hello, another month. So these are some of the things we were thinking about for our video today. So please think about sharing habits, traditions, recipes, favorite food, favorite pie, favorite beverage, favorite what, because we'd love to know. We'd love to know. And it really does make such a huge difference when all of a sudden you know someone else is doing, oh, that's new, and you never thought of it before. And you never thought you could do it before, and you never thought to apply it to your own household before. So do consider things like that when we are going through these videos. Honestly, it is a fantastic opportunity for all of us to connect. Faithful Friends on Purpose times a million, building up the Doc and Queenie community, getting to see you each and every week at high noon on Mondays Central Time. That is so fun for us to be able to interact with you, offer you business advice, offer you tips on YouTube. Doc talks about all the time when Doc says a reel on Instagram and you don't know what a reel is yet, guess what? Go to her page, Kitchen Garden Expert, and you can see the reel and it'll kind of say, do you want to create one? And all of a sudden you go, I can do that. All of a sudden with businesses and boards of directors and advisory boards and things like that, I never thought of that. I've never done a posting party. My LinkedIn profile needs work. We've got time now. Okay, I understand busy. I understand that word. But there's also going to be downtime. You're sitting in front of the fire, sipping on hot cocoa, watching a Hallmark Christmas movie. Hello, Karen. And you're going to have a little bit of downtime. It only takes a second to update some of the stuff on your LinkedIn profile. or your Facebook page, or your Instagram reel, or your YouTube channel, or your Twitter account, or your Alignable profile. Only takes a little bit of time, and you can mostly do it from your phone. So please think about, again, traditions, the things that we love to share, different ideas that you have from some of the comments that we've made here today. We cannot wait to hear how your Thanksgiving went or is going. Some people celebrate a couple weeks from now because of family locations. Some people celebrated last weekend. How cool is that? And then all the hustle bustle that you feel around the neighborhood and certainly in the grocery stores is not quite as important to you because you already did yours, which would be kind of cool when you think about it. So just let us know what's up with you. We want to stay in touch. We want to stay connected. And again, I am so grateful that the Facebook Zoom thing is all straightened out, hopefully, and that you're able to see this live or certainly on the replay. Thank you 1,000,000% for being part of the Doc and Queenie community. We absolutely love having you as part of this family, and do share what you've got coming up in the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks of this year, and how that's going to resonate with your future 2022. One more month, my friends, one more month. See how that's going to resonate as far as changes you're going to make in your company. And then, of course, we've got holiday traditions coming up too. So there's a lot going on in these last few weeks, but do share with us. And we wish each and every one of you a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next Monday at high noon. Bye now.